tried to run off that like evaluation today. I couldn't get it.
I'm wearing my protest scarf.
Oh,
I
email
went
it.
to the
You can't
printer and
email
then it
it.
never printed.
Maybe.
That's okay. I can take
It
that.
was the way you said it too. You're like,
I only got.
This is my protest scarf.
Arian, watching.
Looking at the snow at Carabassa Valley.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Just give me an idea. How did you?
Yeah, I'm
come up
hoping
with
to
your-
too. It came out. It was.
Saw that.
We let transgender girls play sports.
We do?
And I could see.
We do have one?
Good.
No,
No.
if we do.
But it'll be here by
Would. More than normal.
I know.
I'm gonna have short hair.
Yeah, now.
Have you ever?
Gotta dismantle the
All right.
Department of
You have baby
Education.
pictures of
All
yourself?
right, good evening, folks. Can I have your attention?
All right.
Start the meeting off. First thing we're gonna do is pledge of allegiance to the flag. Can you all join me in that? Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
United States of America and to the republic
for
which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. Thank you. First of all, those who don't know me, my name is Jay Riff. I'll be the moderator for tonight. I'd like to welcome all the inhabitants of the towns, Dalton, Lancaster, Jefferson, Twin Mountain, and Whitefield. Let's see. Just so you know, so nobody forgets, the annual school district meeting on the 11th of March. You can go and vote for at your polling places. That's town meeting day. And you'll be voting on the articles we're going to go over tonight. Just a reminder, what we're voting on tonight is the wording of the articles that'll be voted on at town meeting. As we go through this, the way it'll work is I'll read each article, and all articles, including petitions one, may be amended at the session, except those whose language is required by law. Amendments cannot change the purpose of the article, and all questions need to be addressed through me. And if you have a question or comment, please come up to the microphones. We want to make sure we get your comments on the record, and we want to make sure that everybody can hear you. If people are sitting back in the seats, I know it's more comfortable and it's easier, but not everybody can hear everybody, including myself. So just please come up to the microphones. Please limit your discussions to the article that is on the floor. All voters will get a chance to discuss that article, and you'll have multiple chances, but I would ask that you keep your comments brief and to the point. Try not to be repetitive. I know we all have a habit of doing that. And if they do become repetitive, I may interrupt you. It's not personal, just trying to move things along. If there's anybody wants a secret ballot, that requires 5 registered voter signatures, and they must be made before an amendment is brought to the floor for a vote. Any amendments to the articles must be presented to me in writing prior to being considered. Also, as a reminder, if there are any non-residents here, you cannot speak unless the registered voters allow you to speak, and we'd have to take a vote on that. Please be sure that all cell phones are on silent or vibrate. So that's just courtesy. And does everybody have their voting cards? When we go to vote, we're going to raise the voting cards, okay? Everybody have those? Okay. And so I guess at this time, I'm going to ask for the board members to introduce themselves and go down. We'll start at the far end and come this way.
Thanks. Chris Van Bergen. I'm a rep for Lancaster. Sarah Giles, Whitefield.
Ben Jealous in the town of Carroll.
Herb Randall from Lancaster.
Evelyn Flynn Bolton.
Bob Loyacono from Whitefield.
Jim Brady, Jefferson.
Marion?
I'm Mary Anastasia, Superintendent of Schools.
Rob Scott, Assistant Superintendent, Lancaster resident.
Melissa Wadsworth, the Finance Director.
We got Stephanie over here. Okay. The first thing we got to do for our superintendent, Mary Anastasia, she is not a resident, so I need a motion to allow her to speak here. We have a motion?
So moved.
We have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor of allowing her to speak?
Yeah.
Any against? All right. Same thing for Finance Director, Melissa Wadsworth. We have a motion?
So moved.
Second? Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Get that out of the way. Good. Okay. Let's see. Start with this. We're actually going to start with Article 2. This thing. Okay. So Article 2 is the operating budget. And it reads, shall the school district raise and appropriate as an operating budget, not including appropriations by special warrant articles and other appropriations voted separately, the amount set forth on the budget posted with a warrant or as amended by vote of the first session for the purposes set forth therein, totaling $25,227,726. Should this article be defeated, the default budget should be $25,158,079, which is the same as last year with certain adjustments required by previous action of the school district or by law. or the governing body may hold one special meeting in accordance with RSA 40:13 X, R10 and 16, paragraph 16, to take up the issue of the revised operating budget only. Notes. These amounts include the amount of $1,465,000 for the operation of various programs, such as grants. The amount for the operating budget without these programs is $23,762,726. This warrant article, the operating budget, does not include appropriations from any other warrant article. School board recommends this appropriation. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Mr. Moderator.
Do I have a second?
Second it.
Okay. Do we have discussion on Article 2? You have a question?
I'm at Marquis, the town of Carroll. I was here a year ago and I spoke with you all about my concerns on the low amount we have on investments and the interest we earn on them. You graciously invited me to a couple of meetings to discuss that over the past year, but we really haven't moved on it. This year, a conservative number, I can tell you we missed out on $175,000 in interest. I do this for a living, so I know how to get that money, and it's not that difficult. Last year, I'm assuming we lost about 100,000, so we're at $250,000 now, over. The interest rates are still pretty good, and we should be able to get, I'm guessing, maybe 150 for this next budget year. And I know it's hard to put in a budget because the economy, it's very volatile, but we need to put an effort in there. Those surpluses are what we rely on a lot to put in the capital reserves. And I can't stress it enough. I don't know where the issue is. Maybe we should look at having a warrant article to elect a treasurer, and they would have specific duties for investing funds. So that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you. Anybody else have any comments, sir?
Chris Eaton from Jefferson. Just curious, since I'm going to have to get less haircuts now with the taxes one. Jefferson jumping 210 versus like $20 or $30. Anyone explain to me why Jefferson's so much higher than everybody else? Just wondering why it's that big a difference.
Anybody want to handle that one?
So the difference in Jefferson this year is related to the decrease in state aid as well as the pending reevaluation. So the other towns have had a reevaluation, and then I believe it will be upcoming for Jefferson, and that's related because it changes the allocation, the apportionment formula because of it.
So they've already done the allocation, or it's upcoming?
It's upcoming.
Okay.
So had they all been aligned, you would be seeing a different type of impact.
Will this get everybody lined up afterwards? Or is this going to be a
Unfortunately,
yearly?
no. That's by the towns, so that's their determination.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor of Article 2 as written? All those opposed? All right, Article 2 passes. Just the wording. Anybody getting confused? Okay, Article 3, the White Mountains Educational Support Personnel Collective Bargaining Agreement. See if the school district will vote to approve the cost items in the collective bargaining agreement reached between the White Mountain Regional School Board and the White Mountains Education Support, which calls for the following increases in salaries and benefits at current staffing levels. Fiscal year 2025-2026, estimated increase $191,577 over the 2025 appropriation. 2026 to 2027, $176,702 over the 2025-2026 appropriation. 2027, 2028, $178,166 over the 2026, 2027 appropriation. And further to raise and appropriate the sum of $191,577 for the 2025-2026 fiscal year, such sum representing the additional costs attributed to the increases in salaries and benefits required by the new agreement over those of the appropriation at current staffing levels paid in the 2024-2025 fiscal year. Of the 2025-2026 appropriation, $3,507 will be offset by federal grants. Down here, we get the school board recommends this. The notes for 2026, 2027, these amounts include the amount of $3,507 to be funded with federal grants. So the net estimated cost of taxpayers after these grants is $173,195. For 2027, 2028, those amounts include the amount of $3,506 to be funded with federal grants. So the net estimated cost of taxpayers after these grants is $174,660. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move the motion.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Do we have any comments, questions, concerns about Article 3? All right, seeing none. All those in favor of Article 3? All those opposed? All right, Article 3 carries. Okay, Article 4, special meeting for defeated collective bargaining agreement. Shall the school district, if warrant article number 3 is defeated, authorize the White Mountains Regional School Board to call one special meeting at its option to address warrant article number 3, cost items only. Majority vote required. Go here. So if you look on the next page, on page 7, you can see the negotiated agreements details. Estimated increase in year 1, $188,070. Estimated increase year 2, $173,195. Estimated increase year 3, $174,660. Increased longevity by $200 for all eligible members. Increased healthcare contribution by WMESP members by 1.5%, or 0.5% each year of the 3-year agreement. Include Labor Day, exclude 2% parent conference day, half days, increase 6 days, Unit A to 13 in year 1, year 2, and 14 days in year 3. Increase 6 days, Unit B, 11 to 11 in year 1, 2, and 12 days in year 3. I have a motion on that.
Mr. Moderator, I'll make the motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any comments on Article 4? Article 4. All right. All those in favor of Article 4? All those opposed? Article 4 passes. All right. Article 5, Productions Revolving Fund. Shall the school district establish a productions revolving fund in accordance with RSA 194:3-C to be funded by receipts from school district productions and student fundraising, and further to raise and appropriate up to $1 for the purpose of supporting performances, with said amount to be withdrawn from the revolving fund monthly as needed. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move the Article 5.
I'll second it.
All right. Any questions, comments on Article 5? All right. All those in favor? All those opposed? Article 5 passed. Article 6, Capital Reserve Fund, the plow truck. To see if the school district will vote to raise and appropriate up to the sum of $35,000 to be added to the plow truck capital reserve fund previously established, and to authorize this sum to come from June 30th fund balance surplus available to transfer on July 1st, 2025. No amount to be raised from taxation. Available balance is $41,000. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to move Article 6.
Got a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Anybody got any comments on Article 6, the plow truck? All right. All those in favor of Article 6? All opposed? Passes. Article 7, Capital Reserve Fund, Buildings and Grounds Maintenance. To see if the school district will vote to raise and appropriate up to the sum of $400,000 to be added to the Buildings and Ground Maintenance Capital Reserve Fund previously established. To authorize this sum to come from June 30th fund balance surplus available for transfer on July 1st, 2025. No amount to be raised from taxation. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
I second that.
All right. Do we have any discussion on Article 7? Okay, all those in favor of Article 7? All those opposed? Article 7 passes. Okay, Article 8, Capital Reserve Fund, Special Education. To see if the school district will vote to raise and appropriate up to the sum of $50,000 to be added to the Special Education Capital Reserve Fund previously established, and to authorize the sum to come from the June 30th fund balance surplus available for transfer on July 1st, 2025. No amount to be raised from taxation. Do I have a motion on that?
Make a motion on that.
Second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion on Article 8? All right, all in favor of Article 8? Anybody opposed? Article 8 passes. Article 9, Capital Reserve Fund, Life Safety Code Deficiency. See if the school district will vote to raise and appropriate up to the sum of $50,000 to be added to the Life Safety Code Deficiency Capital Reserve Fund, previously established, and to authorize a sum to come from the June 30th fund balance surplus available for transfer on July 1st, 2025. No amount to be raised from taxation. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I will move Article 9.
Seconds?
I second it.
All right. Anybody want to talk about Article 9? All those in favor of Article 9? All those opposed? Line passes. Article 10, Capital Reserve Fund, District-wide Road Maintenance. To see if the school district will vote to raise and appropriate up to the sum of $50,000 to be added to the district-wide road maintenance capital reserve fund previously established, and to authorize the sum to come from June 30th fund balance surplus available for transfer on July 1st, 2025. No amount to be raised from taxation. Do I have a motion?
I'd move that motion.
Anybody second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any comments on Article 10? All those in favor? All those opposed? Article 10 passes. Article 11, Capital Reserve Fund, the athletic fields. See if the school district will vote to raise and appropriate up to the sum of $25,000 to be added to the athletic fields capital reserve fund previously established, and to authorize this sum to come from the June 30th fund balance surplus available for transfer on July 1st, 2025. No amount to be raised from taxation. Do I have a motion on that one?
Mr. Moderator, I'll move Article 11.
Any seconds?
I'll second that.
Okay. Anybody want to talk about Article 11? All right. All those in favor? All opposed? Article 11 passes. Article 12, Capital Reserve Fund, the Arthur T. Paradis Career and Technical Education. To see if the school district will vote to raise and appropriate up to the sum of $25,000 to be added to the Arthur T. Paradis Career and Technical Education Capital Reserve Fund, previously established, with this amount to be funded from the career and technical education tuition surcharge revenues received from the state and sending districts. No amounts to be raised from taxation. Do I have a motion?
I'll move Article 12.
You have a second?
Second.
Anybody want to comment on Article 12? Okay, all those in favor? All those opposed? Article 12 passes. Article 13, Capital Reserve Fund, Forestry Timber Cut Sales. See if the school district will vote to authorize the school board to convey standing trees belonging to the school district on such terms and conditions as the school board shall determine are in the best interest of the school district, and further to raise and appropriate up to the sum of $25,000 to be added to the Forestry Capital Reserve Fund previously established, with such amount to be funded from the revenue generated by the Forest Management Program, including timber sales. This money comes from timber cut sales and has no impact on the proposed year's tax rate. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to move Article 13.
Second?
I'll second it.
We want to talk about the trees? Okay, all those in favor? All those opposed? All right, Article 13 passes. Or am I done? Well, I'll entertain a motion to end.
Motion to end.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, and got a second?
Second.
Yeah, sure.
All right, all in favor of adjournment? Joe opposed? All right, good night, folks.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, as usual. Folks, we're going to go into our regularly scheduled school board meeting, and we're going to take a 5-minute break. And be more than welcome to join us for this school board meeting. Thank you. Sure. Meeting to order, welcome. And first item is roll call, please, Steph. Steph?
Oh, this is so cool.
She's not here.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, she is.
Yes.
E. Flynn.
Here.
T. Giles.
Here.
A. Hicks. B. Jellison.
Here.
Arlo Acono.
Yeah,
H. Randall.
Here.
K. Van Bergen Buteau.
Here.
thank you. And we've already done the flag salute, so we'll move on to consent agenda. A motion, please, to approve the minutes from January 23rd, 2025, and approval of the manifest.
So move.
Moved by James Brady, seconded by Evelyn.
No. I'm just not. So hard to see each other. I didn't see
You
everyone.
went-
Ready.
I was gonna second that. I had that
thought
motion.
we didn't plan this.
That's true.
Any changes or deletions or misspellings? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries unanimous. Next is the public comment period. Is there anyone here who would like to speak to the public comment period? No? Not yet. Public comment period will remain open for 1/2 hour. If you would like to speak, raise your hand, please. We'll stop what we're doing and allow you to speak. Thank you. Superintendent's report.
I'm gonna start with the high school building studies. Mr. Ainsworth.
Yeah.
For the
because
online
we're at
stuff,
home.
yeah.
Jeez, so we don't have to listen to that.
You're full of it.
Good evening.
Okay.
The high school went to the Ed Programming Committee last week? Or 2 weeks ago?
Last week.
Okay, last week? Okay, and we reviewed the program of studies. If you take a look to the program of studies, you'll see all additions are in, highlighted in yellow. There have been some minor adjustments to some courses, with a change in geography going from a semester course to a full year course. So going from 1/2 credit to a full credit. Half credit will still meet the mandatory state requirement, and the other half will fall into an elective. And if you want to look through and follow along, I can carry you through our new courses. So page 9. If you look at the top right of page 9, you'll see highlighted in yellow, vocal fusion. That's your first introduction to what's new. Vocal fusion is chorus with an updated name to draw students into something looking more contemporary than chorus. If you continue to go through, we've got several pages before we get to more offerings. We've had updates on our pages that show course offerings by grade. If you turn to page 19. Okay, each grade has a layout of the courses that students need to take in English, math, science, social studies, and then the offerings and electives that show what they should be taking or what's available to them at that grade level. And then they show the electives in physical education, art, our drama and music programs, CTE, and other electives. So you'll see highlighted in yellow some of the new courses that are available for grade 9. Course descriptions come later. So you'll see yoga, Pilates, dance, etc. On page 20, see the same for grade 10 at the bottom. On page 21, you'll see there are no changes because the bottom of the junior class is on page 22. And then on 23, you see the highlight of the English class that we started offering this year to include capstones for seniors. And so we have it in there showing that it's required for all seniors so that they do their capstone during their senior year. And that's on page 23. And if you go to 24, you see more of the offerings that are available for seniors. Any questions thus far? Stop me when you get lost. Okay. First new course that you see on page 27 is in our English department, America on Stage. That's a course for upper level students. And you can see the description deals with theatrical and literary history of the U.S. through plays. Any questions? Do you want me to read the whole description when we get to it, or are you good?
No, that's good.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you. All right, if you go to page 28, it shows the geography change from 0.5 to 1 credit, 5 being the required social studies and 0.5 being an elective credit. And then we go a little bit further to
I have a
see.
question about that.
Yeah,
So do the students, because the second half is elective, can they elect to do something else? So it's required.
right. It's a full year course,
Okay,
but one half of it meets the requirement by the state
okay, got it.
and the other half can go in their elective pile.
Patsy, can I ask a question while we're stopped here? Has
Sure.
nothing to do with that one. We've had to make several changes because of the new ED rules, or this is just you guys doing housekeeping?
This is us
Or
doing
both.
housekeeping.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. If you turn to page 36, you'll see some of our, a new music offering. Digital music and recording. And so this is using digital technology for students to compose and produce original music. We were able to secure some, what are they called? Okay. Through the Bar Foundation grant, we were able to secure some digital keyboards that we used this year in our choice block, and we'll be able to expand that and use it in a course next year. Yeah, with additional software. Okay, thanks. Turn to page 37. Introduction of data science A and B, and you'll see varying descriptions for those. The goal is to allow students who are in computer science to potentially use this as part of their,
That's great.
what's that? Okay, thank you. It allows our students to dive deeper into data science if that's their interest while they're in computer science, and they'll be able to be not a completer, it's completer? Okay. Using this course and alternating it with their computer course. Let's see, next page 39, you will see data science in multiple areas. You'll see it under computer science, you'll see it under math, and you'll see it under science because it's an interdisciplinary offering. So 39, you see on 3940, data science AB. And then when you turn to 42, you'll see some additions in our physical education area. We actually started offering yoga and Pilates this year with the hiring of our part-time teacher. We found somebody who could do yoga Pilates. We weren't able to find someone for that art integration piece. And so she's been offering yoga Pilates, and next year she'll offer dance one as well. So students will have greater offerings, more diverse offerings in PE. If you turn to page 43, it's in red. I missed it. It's not highlighted in yellow. Middle of 43, we had to make a correction in the program of studies for math science 2. We had the wording from math science -math when we had to split it into a math and science class because we were understaffed, and we had missed that when we went to ed programming. So this reverts to what we had before when we had math and science staffing to this. So it's back to the original where math science 2 is together and not 2 separate courses taught by a science teacher and a math teacher, 1 credit each. So this is a 2 credit. Science electives, fully staffed in science. We have an opportunity to offer some more courses. Astronomy, trail building and maintenance is something that we are developing, and this is another program from our Learn Outdoors initiative. And this right here also supported through the Bar Foundation grant and being able to get staff trained and look at getting some things on campus built. So this course here lines up with that. Flip page, you see data science A and B again under science. If it's in there enough, somebody will sign up for it. Page 47, another new science offering, the impact of human activity on Earth. Okay, and then we can move into world language. And if you flip to page 50, you'll see a new offering in world language for German film. And this is an offering for students who have taken German 1 and 2, and it's a semester course. As our German teacher gets his certification, while he is getting certified in English first, his course load has to be such that he cannot teach more of his load in German than English. So he teaches it, predominant load is in English, but he can offer a semester to still stay aligned to what he needs to do for his certification. And so this allows students who've gone through 1 and 2 to continue practice with their language as they decide whether or not they want to go to something online at this point. Okay. As you get to page 51, these would be our CTE programs. Big changes are in diversified agriculture, and also we've added an art, audiovisual, visual tech, and communications cluster with digital media. You'll see here descriptions for diversified ag 1 and 2, and then we have some electives that support students or are introductory in nature to get students into that diversified ag 1 and 2 that students in grades 9 and 10 predominantly will take. So you see diversified ag 1, 2, then grow your own food. On the next page, floral design, which we've have offered before, and then intro to forestry, which is similar to the old intro to natural resources. On 53, you'll see the audiovisual tech piece, digital media 1 and 2. Mr. Scott, would you like to speak to that as far as our acquisition of this cluster?
Yep. So several months back, the board agreed to take this program on from Littleton as a recommendation from Region 3. A lot of student interest in it, so we have actually adopted it effective last week. Littleton moved the transfer up. So we now have several kids from sending schools in there with Mr. Salmon.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been able to acquire a lot of the equipment from the Littleton program with the help of Mr. Brown, and things are progressing pretty well.
And so as you look through our CTE offerings from there on out, basically it remained the same. And then you get to the Hugh J. Gallen CTE programs from our sister school in Littleton, and they have their courses that they offer, which they provide to us. And that takes us through to the end for us updating the program of study. So small changes in comparison to some years. So I don't want to say it's a light lift, but from a typing input point, a lighter lift than it has been in previous years. But really excited about still some new and additional courses being offered with our new staff coming in and being excited about the opportunity to create courses. So, any questions?
Looks great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just wanted to say great job. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, the thoughtfulness that is
Yeah.
evident here and.
Very
Innovative.
expansive,
Yeah,
yeah.
innovative course
Uh-huh.
idea is really interesting,
Mhm.
I think, for students. And also great to see the bar grant, how that folds into our
That's
program.
right, yeah.
So,
Yeah, thank you.
thank you.
Thanks.
Good part.
Thank you very much.
Right, the bar grant.
Oh, yeah.
I have a document that Jim is passing down. In my report to you that I wrote last week, I indicated that we need to prepare a protocol and some training regarding communication and public relations on immigration. And since I wrote this letter to you for the board, we have actually come up with a protocol that is in front of you now. The DLT has all agreed to this protocol, and I got advice from NHSAA, AASA, and quite a bit from the American Civil Liberties Union of New Hampshire. So either next week or the week after, the principals are actually going to do the training that's involved in this protocol, which is the most important thing is to differentiate between the warrants that might come to a school and what we have to abide by. If this happens, the first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to get called or Rob's going to get called and we're going to call legal counsel. So we're not going to put this burden on a principal or a teacher or an
Good.
admin assistant or a secretary. So we will go through all these steps with all staff, including bus drivers, custodians, anybody. So it's pretty comprehensive. And pretty simple steps to follow. And I've been in touch with Barbara Lumen and she's had her eyes on this and it's looking fine. Do you have any actual questions about this?
I'll read this later.
It's, I would just say it's a shame that it's necessary.
It is
Yeah.
really a
right,
shame,
And taking up valuable resources and
Right.
time.
but we want to be prepared and we don't want anybody to be frightened and not know what to do. So this will be clearly articulated to everybody within the next 2 weeks. I asked Barbara if they've had any incidents in New Hampshire and there has not
It's
Yeah,
not gonna.
to address.
yeah.
No.
I
As,
mean, given where we live, it's
Yeah.
not.
as a rural district, right, the chances, but I can't
Yeah,
imagine
it's
what it
not
must
gonna
be
happen.
like
Yeah,
for
Manchester area.
districts that are in the in the cities. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
horrifying.
that makes it even more galling that, in a district like ours that really is not likely to be affected by this, we still have to devote the time and
Right.
resources to this.
So next, we're going to talk a little bit about Title IX. We've spent a lot of money, a lot of resources to get trained in the new Title IX laws. Well, now we have to revert back to the old Title IX laws. So we have to go back to the 2020 policy. And Will Phillips will have that out to schools tomorrow, and we will bring that to the board. There are a few minor changes from our original 2020 policy, so that will come to the board. And the major differences are that with the new laws, we could have one person, which was Rob, do the whole process. Now we have to differentiate between the investigator and
Decision maker.
decision maker, yeah. And timelines are longer, excuse me, way longer. So we'll get that to you. And then, I don't know if Bob wants to talk about this. We went to the first annual North Country School Summit and Tara went as well.
Well, we were well represented. I think we had the largest group there.
we did.
6 of us, 7 of us. It was really interesting. I'd like to see it move forward. It's just on how we can work with all the districts around us and there were actually quite a few elected officials there, at least the North Country Senator was there, as well as I think 3 or 4 representatives, maybe 5. So
With very different viewpoints. With very different viewpoints.
it was a lot of different input, but it was also a lot of idea sharing. So we'll see where it goes, hopefully.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Mm.
One of my favorite things, I will be brief. We all know I like to talk. But one of the things I thought was really cool about it, and I don't know if Marion, you looked at it, but we were talking about changing the setup of school board meetings to make it more of like a meeting
Inviting.
for everybody. So it's not like a us versus them type of thing, just kind of have everybody just come at the table. It's not like we have a lot of people show
So it
up
can
anyway. So
last.
that means Rob could come and hang out up at the table.
So it can be 3 hours, 4 hours long? No.
I'm just saying, it was something that was brought up where there's not a lot of trust between the public and school boards, select boards, whatever, and that might be one way to.
New Hampshire Listens is going to collate all the information and give us a report, and we'll share that with the board. That's
Correct.
good. And that's all I have.
Okay. Excuse me, we'll stop. Mr. Christ.
I'm not sure if this is in protocol, but I just had a message from somebody who's watching online who was asked if you would read the immigration letter out loud. Anybody know what that refers to?
We don't have a letter, we have a protocol.
It's a pretty lengthy.
Is it on?
Pretty lengthy. What I could do is I will
Oh,
put it on the website under the school board website. This letter will be there. Well, it's not a letter, it's just the
Yeah.
steps.
It's more of a guideline. It's not a letter.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I tell Maura, I'll send it to you. Okay?
Thank you, Rob.
Or-
Okay, moving on. Are you finished?
Yes.
Assistant Superintendent, Mr.
So I don't have anything formal. I'll have a more comprehensive report for you at the next meeting. Been very busy with a lot of new policy changes in relation to what the federal government is doing, mostly around Title IX and making sure we're compliant, because we're responsible for being compliant, you know, the minute the order was made, and reaching out to our folks that take those initial Title IX claims in to ensure that we're following the right avenue, whether we continue with Title IX 2020 or some of the protections that weren't in Title IX 2020 do exist in New Hampshire state law, and we can navigate those through our bullying and harassment policies.
Very good.
Thank you, yeah.
Director of Finance, anything, Melissa?
Can you hear me? So this week we've been busy since the last meeting, so I do not have a projection this week, but my goal is to start next week and continue through the rest of the school year. We have been busy wrapping up the audit. Right now, we're finalizing the last few pieces. There's no material or significant deficiencies, but there are some go forward takeaways related to some of our policies that needed to get updated, which are, two of them are included in your packet on the agenda. Some student activity account takeaways that we can do better. And that's
Thank you very much.
pretty much that. And we've also, obviously, we've also just distributed our 10-page investment policy, that procedure that we just finished writing, out to some of the trustees and community members to review. We wanted to obviously have that in place so that we can do things correctly. So it just happened.
Thank you. Committee reports, ed programming.
Well, we've just heard about the last meeting. It was a presentation of the program of studies, and I'll just echo Herb's comments that it's been a labor of love, I'm sure, to get it edited, and it's looking the best it has in a while, and I'm really proud of the diversity of offerings that we can set out there for our students, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Facilities. Next week.
Next week, yeah.
Okay. And personnel have nothing new to report. Policy. Anything
I
new?
mean,
District wellness. Oop, you wanted something?
Well, we
Policy?
have two tonight. for-
June, right. District wellness.
We have our quarterly meeting coming up next month, so it's
You?
status quo.
Any unfinished business, old business? Any new business? Seeing none, we will move on to the action agenda. And action agenda item number 1, to accept the following retirement notifications. Sheila Anderson, Whitefield Elementary School teacher, effective June 30th, 2025. Marie St. Martin, Whitefield Elementary School teacher, effective June 30, 2025.
So moved.
Moved by Evelyn,
Second.
second by Ben. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Action agenda item 2, to accept the following resignation. Karen Huntoon, White Mountain Regional High School custodian, effective June 30, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Herb,
Second.
second by Ben. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Action agenda item number 3, to approve the following job descriptions for amendment. Custodian level 2, custodian leader, grounds maintenance, facilities maintenance, assistant director, district facilities director. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Evelyn,
Second.
second by Herb. Any questions? As we brought up earlier, everybody had a chance to
Yeah,
overview?
I did,
Rob.
yeah.
All
We
set?
got our questions answered. Yeah.
Thank you very much. All in favor? Any opposed? The motion carries unanimous. At this time, I do have to ask that we go into a non-public session in accordance with RSA 91-A:3, Section 2, Paragraph K. We will return to do 3 action agenda items after non-public. Would you like to make a comment? Do you have your name and your?
It's all good. It's all good. Hello? Okay, cool. Adam Adair, Lancaster resident. I have 2 kids in the Lancaster school. Hey, Rob. And a graduate of the White Mountains Regional. Just felt compelled to come down here and speak in support of the 7th grade basketball coach who's either being asked to resign or be fired from his position. And I'm sure probably legally we can't speak about any, like I would imagine the legal advisor would say, hey, we can't speak about any ongoing personnel issues, right? And I can respect not being able to speak about it. I guess I just want to go on record of just saying, hey, we support, it's hard to get coaches, it's hard to get refs. And when you have somebody trying to hold the kids accountable for different things in this day and age, that really means something. And, you know, we asked this coach to step up to help us out in a spot, and he did. And I'd like to think once we do a due process investigation and get everybody's side of the story, if everybody thinks that it still rises to the level of some type of removal, then fine. But I mean, from what I've heard, and I know we can't discuss, you know, whatever may or may not have happened with a kid that may not have been supervised in a school hallway or not, or a coach that may
We're
have
gonna have
used.
to.
Say again?
You can't be talking about any of the students or
Nope, no students.
even we can't discuss the personnel in public anyways, but we do appreciate that you would come down to
Okay,
speak
sure.
in support of any of our employees.
So policy question, can I ask a policy question? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the written policy about supervising a kid or students during practice? Any children? Whether
There's many policies. We have a whole book of policies that regarding all of those issues, whether to be a coach, whether you're interacting with children or any of that.
Okay, so a
And the
coach,
job description is in there too.
It's in the
So you
job
can go
description?
online and see all of those policies.
okay, so like a cross-country coach that sends the kids out to do a run in the woods wouldn't be supervising them the whole time, correct? Or like a 13-year-old?
I don't know how that would work.
Okay, or a classroom teacher that a kid has to go to the bathroom, the kid wouldn't be supervised that whole way to go to the bathroom or back. So there could be times where a kid is in a situation where they're not supervised, right? And a 13-year-old. Because the last I checked, like a 13-year-old is old enough to go to the state website and get certified to babysit other people's children, right? So if we're really concerned about a supervisory type of aspect here where there's the elementary school gym and some windows with a lobby, then I think we really need to look at, you know, what's the real issue here. But again, I get it. We can't, it's cool. We can't I just felt compelled to talk about, we've got a good coach that may be being asked to resign or in a situation where he feels that.
As I said, we
Got it.
we appreciate the support
All right.
for any of our staff.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion. I need a motion, please. to go into non-public session.
So moved.
Moved by Evelyn, second by Tara.
I'll second it.
And a roll call, please.
Jay Brady,
Yes.
E Flynn,
Yes.
T Giles.
Yes.
B Jellison,
Yep.
Harlow Iacono,
Yes.
H Randall,
Yes.
K Van Bergen Buteau.
Yes.
Okay, and we will be back for 3 more additional items.
situation. Well, and then.
Apologies, we should be
Such
Get-
abuse.
go through this quickly. If I need a motion to return to public session and to seal the minutes of the
So moved.
non-public.
Second.
Moved by Ben, seconded by Evelyn.
You got it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is unanimous. We're back in session. And we move on to action agenda item number 4, to waive tuition and accept the enrollment of a foreign exchange student at White Mountain Regional High School for the 2024-2025 school year, contingent upon all policy requirements.
So moved.
By Tara, seconded by Evelyn.
Evelyn was.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Action agenda item 5, to approve changing the February 20th, 2025 meeting to February 18th, 2025.
So moved.
Moved by Chris, seconded by Evelyn. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a no, I'm just kidding.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Action agenda item number 6, to approve the following policies for amendment. DJ purchasing and DJE bidding procedures. And moved by James.
You have to
Is
second.
there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Herb. Any question?
No.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. There's a conflict.
Bob, before you call it, can I ask a question?
Yeah, wait a minute. James asked why we're changing the meeting. There's a conflict in the media room.
I
Yes,
can ask my question now. I know Marie St. Martin's worked in the district forever. I'm not familiar with Sheila Anderson.
She's new.
Okay, well anyways, I think typically when someone's worked for us for a long time, we accept their resignations or retirement notices with appreciation for their many years of service, and we neglected to do that on that. So I don't know if Steph can just add that or.
well, Evelyn made the motion. Would you like to read Dave the motion to accept the following retirement with appreciation for Marie St. Martin and Sheila Anderson?
Yes.
Moved by Evelyn and seconded was Ben
And Sharon Huntoon has been here for a long time.
and Karen Huntoon.
And Karen Huntoon's, so all, just, we
Yep.
appreciate what.
No, it's true.
Yep.
Agreed.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Anything else?
You're such a
Then
good little boy.
We are adjourned.